had to start this video again because even with notes I'm rambling too much. So I'm going to try to get this out mostly with the notes and stuff. And then I'll explain some of this stuff in the description of the YouTube video after it's uploaded, that little process. And also in people's private messenger on Facebook, where I have the largest amount of friends on a friend list. Okay, this is very, what's happening is there could be another lawsuit against Facebook concerning free speech and censorship by me. Yeah, I'm not a celebrity or politician or anything like that, where a bunch of YouTube people are really going to swarm over here, but I do think that it should draw in extra people that are not subscribed to me and don't always, you know, the people that just search free speech censorship on YouTube. It's going to lead them to that because what's in the description. Okay, so yeah, so I got this free speech and censorship that coming from all directions on Facebook, even in private messenger, where I didn't have a problem before with those sort of things, because let's be honest, I do believe that shadow ban happens. Some people think that's a conspiracy theory, but shadow ban is, even though there'll be all kinds of people on your friends list that would be totally interested in the post that you're doing, because it goes against the grains of the narrative of the propaganda, one world government machine sort of thing that's going on. Well, you see what's going on in the world. It's about disaster preparation, off-grid technology, survivalists, because of the things going on in the world. They don't want people to hear about that. They want people to depend on the government to save them. So that makes that quickly, because like I said, the last video got too long. I didn't have the space on my phone because I rambled too much. And okay, moving on. Okay. This is happening during, I'm in a personal, not just drama queen crisis, but life in danger, homeless, not due to drug use or laziness and things like that either. I am disabled and I get a disability check for physical disabilities, and a couple of them that are in the lines of mental health, but not paranoid, schizophrenic, or delusions. It's just anxiety and depression and PTSD. Okay, the real problem with that is because of the person that ripped me off and made some promises to me that had me move out of my stable rental place. They didn't really rip me off, they just talked me into moving into a fixer-upper house to watch it, to make sure that drug addicts and typical ghetto thieves don't go in there as usual, drop their needles all around. And in case of renovating a house, you bring in construction materials. Those construction materials will be fenced all over this bad neighborhood. I guarantee it. In fact, if you look this kind of direction here, you'll see that doorway. Before I was here, the house owner had put a good, nice, solid, not budget price steel door in there to make an attempt to keep some of these people out that have busted all the windows out and stole all the electrical wiring and plumbing that had some kind of scrap value and all the things like that. To help, and because there was busted windows in the back, they just came through the windows, they removed that door, and they sold it somewhere in the neighborhood. Somewhere, who knows where, you know. She was in California, I was in the next town over. We were just talking about the things that happened, but nobody really had time to look into who might have stolen, fenced a good $200 and some steel door from a house that was just about to be renovated. This house has been empty for a long time. There was like puke, clean up, the needles and spoons, discarded drink bottles, and half-eaten ravioli cans, all kinds of disgusting stuff for me to clean up. That was part of the deal, besides watching the place to keep these people out, was to get this stuff cleaned up. and a little bit better for the contractors when they come in to start fixing things. Okay, so I mean, with the all of that, not only put me in a homeless squatting situation, trying to survive in that and spending the extra money for the camping equipment to live here until electricity and plumbing was turned on and stuff. Camping equipment is very expensive. Even some of the used camping equipment can be a little expensive, and I spend a lot to camp. The person, due to a minor dispute, which I offered compromises and olive branches that were ignored and not considered, um, then this fell through. I tried to go to a place um, as a couch surfer with my stuff so it'd be protected, because obviously it wouldn't be protected in an abandoned house like this. All my camping stuff, my clothes, my electric scooter, which is my only transportation. It has a bicycle trailer so I can haul home groceries. All that was vulnerable, you know, unless that went with me. That person, well, thought they were nice, so they'd let me have a couch till September 3rd when I get another disability check, but that person turned out to be a full-blown meth addict, aggressive, paranoid, losing his stuff and accusing everybody of stealing it. Some cases he had meth whores in there that actually did steal the stuff. Other cases he found it a few minutes to a day or two later after some things were moved around, and color him embarrassed. You know, found out that nobody stole that stuff, but he would go around and violently, aggressively accuse people of that. I did not know that before I moved in, or I wouldn't have moved in. I would have found some kind of other option. Okay, so yeah, I had to, I just about stabbed the guy because he raised his fist at me. I told him that he was kicking me out for a missing flashlight that I didn't take. I said, I'm moving all my stuff out to the driveway so I can take it somewhere out as fast as I can. My leg hasn't recovered from being a broken leg, and probably won't fully recover because I'm older, and they had to put a rod in there, and there's some other complications on top of a neurological disorder that hasn't been officially diagnosed, but it looks like it might either be early stages of Parkinson's or Huntington's disease. Your arms and legs, they shake. It maybe more Huntington's because there's a different type of shaking between Parkinson's and Huntington's, and there's also symptoms that are different with Huntington's and Parkinson's. But again, that has to be, my primary care has to forward me to a neurologist. But the bottom line is, I'm a GIMP. And I was simply trying to tell him that I'm a GIMP. I'm moving my stuff out as fast as I can, and he was trying to push me out real fast. Just saying that, you know, that I have handicaps and I'm moving as fast as I can, had him in my face with his fist raised to me. With my PTSD, my hand was on my hunting knife. But I do respect the life of other people. Didn't want it to come to that. There was 3 or 4 items that just got left because, you know, I would have wrapped his wounds if he let me, and been on 911 to get him an ambulance afterwards. Either way, it was just something to stop him from punching my face out when I'm already feeble and old. You know, I would have done the responsible thing. I know myself. But that's a situation I shouldn't have been in, and I was put in it because of the way this woman would not compromise and let this whole deal go south with the original. The only thing that saved me from getting thrown out by police for being a squatter was showing him the text conversation that had to do with me being here for that purpose with the property owner's permission. And had it been all an unrecorded phone conversation, I would have been fucked. The cops would have been throwing me out on the street that night. My shit vulnerable while I'm trying to get it somewhere. Everything else I didn't get on the first load with an electric scooter, and maybe not being able to call somebody with a truck would have been fenced around the neighborhood. Again, you know, this it's not the worst neighborhood in the United States, but it's a very, 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 very long ways from the best neighborhood in the United States, and I can definitely say that. Okay, so yeah, they do this free speech and censorship when I have no phone, no text due to financial. I did apply for SafeLink or what they call Obama minutes and stuff, but that's a slow process. That hasn't got it done. Nobody's really bought me a reload card to keep those on there. So even calling, social services in different places to help has been a hindrance because um, mainly due to somebody having not as secure Wi-Fi that's a neighbor. I have an internet connection that leaves my Facebook, my main Facebook, and my Facebook Messenger, and my Gmail as the only forms of electronic communication to get any help from anybody. Um, Eunice Police Department's not going to look at their little Facebook account to see that I sent them a message. I did send them a message, and they haven't looked. Um, I tried to send an email. They didn't have an email account. It's a smaller city in Louisiana. That's just how it is. Okay, so I'm in this vulnerable and in a couple incidences life-threatening situation as a disabled person, and I feel that the only reason I was taken advantage of and left to this homeless state is because I was a disabled person that they felt that they could gaslight and say that they're delusional or, they're bored on disability and just calling out for attention, being drama queen kind of thing. And that's kind of what she did. That's what she attempted to do, but I had my backup text with the agreement and stuff, and that saved me somewhat. Okay, so I post Tom Cruise Top Gun movie. Very famous quote. People have used it for decades jokingly in the parties and different things and like that. To some friends, very good friends of mine, I would never threaten their life or anything. That I know laughed at it. I hit them up in Messenger, told them what happened, and they do understand, that none of them reported it and or thought it was serious, and they only one of the two saw it before it was banned and not able to be seen. But that person, laughed knowing it was my morbid shock comedy morning radio show sense of humor that I use on this entertainment channel. Okay, so I disagree with decision, and they don't allow you to type something about why you select from these things, including you can select something else, and they still don't allow you to type. It's just something else. What's that something else? They don't know because there's not a field, not at least in an Android phone with the Facebook app to do that, to disagree with decision to ban. So Top Gun 1986, Tom Cruise character named Maverick, very famous line, if I told you, then I would have to kill you. Tagged the person that I was directing it to that would have thought it was funny and knew the Top Gun movie and knew where it came from. They knew, and I've addressed other friends, they know it was a Top Gun quote, nothing more. It wasn't an actual violent threat. So I appealed it. I said the proper thing, that it was taken in the wrong context. I don't feel it violates the standards because it was taken in the wrong context, because I couldn't type, hey, movie quote in which movie and trying to be funny, haha, these are my friends, not somebody I'm threatening to murder. The detail. Disagree with decision, you would think out of common sense the person, after the robot made the decision, would look at everything, the comments around it, and look at the fact that we've been on each other's friends list for a good while and stuff, and never had any spats, and say, oh yeah. And especially maybe if it might ding in their head, I don't remember the movie, but that's a movie quote. And like that. Apparently that wasn't done because it wasn't even really, I don't think, more than 30 seconds later, they sent their little message that we looked at your disagree, and it still stands. It violates our community standards. So they didn't look at shit. You're not going to be able to look at all that stuff around that. and make that decision in that bam 30 seconds. I do feel that it very much had to do with my off-grid survivalist emergency preparation. Don't depend on the government stuff when the propaganda and all that wants one world globalism and depend on the government. They don't want you to depend on yourself. They want to shut down posts, and that's what a lot of, especially my more recent posts were about. So they did it just to, well, this is a person we don't want posting what they're posting anyways. We'll just leave them on the ban. There's an appeals process beyond that. It says in the instructions on how to appeal that it doesn't, you know, not all of them are going to be looked at. Only specific ones are going to be looked at. So it's basically saying fat chance, but I tried it anyway. Again, Android phone sometimes doesn't work in some apps with how they intended it. That sent me in circles. I didn't get to type anything there to even try to have that fat chance. So workaround for all of you to go through this. I'm trying to be quicker about this. I'm talking fast. Support at facebook.com through your email platform. It's not through Facebook directly. It's your outside email to their internal email. Support at facebook.com. That does let you type in details. Say, hey, this was a movie quote. Why are you banning me over a movie quote? Everybody that on that thread knew that it was a movie quote, blah, blah, blah. The other way around actually goes to technical support for a technical problem. That's in the help section where it says report a problem. It allows you to type in there. Problem with that is not every tech person is going to go above and beyond and forward that to the people in administration that handles the community standards violation. So there's really not a big chance that makes it from technical support over to the right person. That's for technical glitches, really. But it would seem like if you worded it the right way, which I did, that the normal procedures was sending me in circles and not actually getting my information to whoever decides these things, that maybe a person that wants to spend an extra 60 seconds or so to forward it to the right person would do so. But you know how things are or have been lately. So yeah, the stuff gets shadow banned. Even when I go into workarounds like private messenger, that's not even working anymore. 700 to 800 people that I know are interested in survivalist off-grid. And Ezra, can you hush for a minute? It's just a cat 50 yards away. It's a nothing burger. Yeah, so I know that outside of the shadow ban on main Facebook that it's worked before. Just send people that you absolutely know are interested in a Facebook message with the link to the post, and the people that see it either that day or later, if they're not on their messenger very often, eventually go to it and react and comment and share it with people and so on. That's not even happened. I put those things in Messenger, and you get this little thing that says that they saw it, and I understand maybe it flipped down to we saw this message, but they didn't have time, intended to come back to it and forgot. But literally I have 1,100 friends, and I sent hundreds of those out. It would seem like more than 3 people would just go and respond to the post. So there's something going on with them trying to stop me from doing it that way too. All in the middle with some of this that's not even about that. It's about my personal crisis and asking friends and family for help in this situation, because social workers for disabled people are slow. Police are slow. Everything is slow in government. And I'm not getting anywhere. I'm still sitting here squatting. So yeah, some of that was very important. Could have got family and friends that might have been able to put minutes on my phone, because that SafeLink is not working very fast. Then I'd be able to getting a good enough signal spot and call endlessly in all directions with a lot more options for help in the situation. I'm not able to do that. Even in the situation of telling people through Messenger about what has happened, and I'm not a person that had a history of being on the streets for multiple drug use and like that. I do have, like I said, the anxiety, depression, PTSD sort of problems, not paranoid delusions and all that, although some of them might think so. You know, and I get no response for help from friends and family, and I can't call social services, can't call cops directly. I have to try to email them and stuff like that. Takes forever. I looked. Still haven't looked at the message that I sent to the local police department, and not unless they did it while I made this video. So yeah, unfair decision. What I want everybody to do on YouTube that sees this, and it's probably going to be seen because anybody that searched free speech and censorship, it should actually pull up somewhere in their list of videos to look at. Also, oh no, it's still taking that. Somebody's alert. Okay. Also, there's 1,000,000 John Morgans in the United States and the world. The way to find me, John Morgan, very fast is a nickname that I recently put up because of me going off-grid and out in the woods soon, called Feral, as in feral cat and dog. You know what that means, but it says feral man. You know, society rejected the cat and dog. They became a feral cat and dog. They went from domesticated to being wild again. And in the case of feral man, society has rejected the man, so the man goes out in the wilderness and becomes a wild man. So feral man, F-E-R-A-L, man, is in parentheses right next to my name, and you'll find me faster than you'll find me scrolling through thousands, hundreds of thousands of John Morgans on Facebook. I guarantee it. Remember, feral man, that's where you can go and get at me, because I'm still on violation with 30-day ban. What you would have to do is message me. I don't have people that are not friends blocked from messaging me. I get all the romance scammers and Bitcoin scammers and all those people, and I just delete their messages, but I'll see, and you'll know what to say. And we'll get you on my friends list or whatever, so that, you have the option to comment on the post. You're going to say exactly, Tom Cruise, Top Gun, movie quote, 1986. If I told you, then I would have to kill you. And multiples all over any post. Pick any post. I'd send it in Messenger for a specific post, but pick any post on there. There's a lot of interesting stuff, and it tells you about my personal crisis here where I'm trying to live too. And just put in there, you know, make sure you say movie quote, or they'll probably ban you too, and you'll have to go through this stupid appeal process. Movie quote, Tom Cruise, Top Gun, character Maverick. If I told you, I'd have to kill you, in quotations, all over the place, because they're not really, at this point, probably because they're backed up, paying attention to the outside email or the report a problem where I could tell them, hey, you just banned somebody for joking with somebody and quoting Tom Cruise. Yeah, you fucked up and called somebody a fucking potential murderer when they were just quoting a movie. Take me off restriction. In both of those cases, I said I will sue you because of this problem that I'm going through now, and I don't deserve to be banned in your appeal process, and disagreed with decision process sucks. I will sue you, especially if I become hospitalized, or, you know, maybe my daughter will sue you if I become dead. because you locked out one of my only connections electronically to people, to ask my family and friends for help with my crisis here, and to get the appeal to them to go take a look at the promotions and stuff for off-grid survivalist emergency preparedness stuff. Both they just cut off every way I can talk to somebody except for walk 2 miles to their house and knock on their door and say hey. And with a not fully recovered, shattered left leg, I ain't going to be walking 2 miles with my cane for that to some friend's house or whatever and stuff. And if I did, I'd be gone for hours, and all of my camping stuff would be fenced around the neighborhood, gone, left vulnerable. They'll see I'm gone and staying gone for long periods of times. That the ones that are actual common regular thieves will whisper around to each other and say, hey, let's just go and grab as many stuff as we can, get it out of here and go sell it. Whether because they're a drug addict or just they're a thrill thief to see if they can get away with it, whatever the case may be. That's how it would happen. I've gotten to know this neighborhood enough to know that none of my shit would be here if I was spending hours at a social services office, hours walking to a friend's house because I can't call them. So get on there, on the Facebook, and do that. Get that message out. They're going to look at it, but this time you'll have the movie quote so that they know you're not threatening. But they're going to see that, and they're going to see that it matches the exact reason that I was banned from Facebook. It's going to get their attention. Maybe they'll look for my other forms of communications to see I'm going to sue their ass, and it'll get me off from ban so I can continue my promotions and continue asking people for help. Outside of my telephone, that I don't have phone minutes or text minutes. It's not an option. I can call 911, but if it's not a life or death emergency, I'm just a squatter that's trying to get social services help. 911, that's kind of an abuse of 911 when it's supposed to be for somebody's dying sort of situations, or somebody's going to get hurt. That's what 911 is for, car wrecks, things like that. That would be an abuse. So I'm not going to try to get a social worker out here by calling 911. Fuck that. That's an abuse of 911. That's not the way it's supposed to work. I'm ending this video right now. You heard support at fb.com. For outside email. Report a problem in the help section also allows you to type. Put the specify Tom Cruise Top Gun movie quote and put in, if I told you I would have to kill you, in there. That'll get their attention. They'll at least have to look because of the kill you part. Their Facebook algorithms would have to, and they'll do that. The appealer decision is going to see that you know, the whole movie quote thing in there in front of it. So then your appeal, and especially if you don't go against the grains of global government with your stuff, your appeal will go through, because I neglected to say Tom Cruise Top Gun character Maverick 1986. If I told you I would have to kill you, that's why they didn't even bother to look at the other context. So get on there. Facebook, John Morgan is my actual name, but I got Pharaoh Man in quotes because of my intentions on Labor Day of exiting modern society and living in the woods off-grid, and be writing and telling people about it and stuff. Say, if I, as a gimpy old 55-year-old man, can survive out here in the woods in survivalist mode, your young asses can do it too. All you need to do is know and learn the techniques to do it. Those are both very important. My appeal for help with my crisis personal situation here, and getting people involved in emergency preparedness, survivalist stuff because of the things going on in the world. I'm almost at 30 minutes, definitely ending because I'm rambling, and it's going to tell me it's my video's far enough. Bye. See you, John Patrick Morgan, Wise Man Say Entertainment Channel, but this is a serious video, and don't think that it's just entertainment. It's a serious video. Get on there. If you don't want to be censored and you want to have free speech, get on there and do this for me and fight this and get them to take me off ban so I can continue my work and continue trying to get my help until somebody buys me some phone minutes or SafeLink government gives me free phone minutes, whichever, so that I can do it myself. Sayonara.